A new report shows the economy contracted in the first quarter, what the White House is saying about the latest GDP report. Plus, Fort Smith voters are set to decide on reallocating sales tax money. We'll hear from an attorney leading a coalition against the plan.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News at Noon.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with meteorologist Stephen Elmore. I think we should just get straight to that first look at the forecast because there's been a lot going on, and there still is right now.
Yeah, this morning we had some very loud thunderstorms. This is round 2 of that weather impact alert that we have for today, and you can see those severe thunderstorms are right on our doorstep. We have severe thunderstorm warnings just outside of Lafleur and Sequoia counties, but also we have multiple areas of rotation as well, prompting those tornado warnings. So again, we knew as soon as we got into the afternoon hours for today, that's when this line of thunderstorms is going to be right at our doorstep. More than likely, the next warning that will be issued here for this line of thunderstorms is going to be extended into parts of Sequoia or parts of Lafleur, if not both of them. So we'll have to watch that over the next couple of minutes to see if that next warning crosses into our parts of our viewing area into eastern Oklahoma. Now, new information that we got after the morning show was also the chances, or at least the fact that we have that new tornado watch that goes out until 5 p.m. this evening. Here's a look at that watch. That time's wrong there. Ignore that 10 a.m. Again, that tornado watch goes out for Sequoia, Lafleur, parts of Sebastian, Logan, and Scott counties until 5 p.m. this evening. That's where we'll have to watch this line of thunderstorms continue to track across parts of the river valley. The rest of this evening, northwest Arkansas, though, even though you don't have that tornado watch out there right now, we could see additional watches extended, maybe that severe thunderstorm watch later on this afternoon. It's something that we're going to have to watch out for. Here's a look at our latest models going into this afternoon. Again, the chances of at least some strong storms going this afternoon and continuing through that 3, 4, 5 p.m. hour along that leading edge is where we'll have the chances of at least some strong winds, if not some rotation. Once this leading edge is past us, then the concern is going to be the heavy rain that comes in behind it. That heavy downpour of rain going to lead to eventual flooding concerns by the time we get through this evening. Now, good news is by the time we get closer towards 7, 8 p.m. tonight, most of the heavy rainfall, that's done. We're just going to be dealing with a few scattered showers the rest of the night. Going into our Thursday and Friday, only a few more of those stray showers to worry about as well. As soon as we have an update on those severe storms that are moving into parts of eastern Oklahoma this afternoon, we'll bring that to you.
Thank you, Stephen. And new at noon, a Crawford County court appearance today moves a case against Randall Worcester forward. Worcester faces charges involving an altercation with 2 former Crawford County deputies. They're both currently in prison for unlawfully beating Worcester during that altercation. Now, right now, 5 News reporter Kayla Davis is at the Crawford County Courthouse. And Kayla, what's the latest in this case?
Worcester's time in court today was speedy, simply confirming his trial date for June 23rd before he was free to go. We spoke with his lawyer today, who says there are a few pending items they need to take care of ahead of that trial coming up in June. Worcester's lawyer, Rachel Bussett, says they're currently waiting to receive the report for a competency exam done back in February to ensure he's fit to stand trial. The judge also confirmed this morning that if a plea agreement can be worked out, the June jury trial will be replaced with a plea hearing. Worcester faces charges of terroristic threatening in the 1st degree, battery in the 2nd degree, resisting arrest, possessing an instrument of crime, obstructing governmental operations, and disorderly conduct. Coming up on your 5 News at 4, you'll hear from Bussett on Worcester's current mental state leading up to that trial. But for now, I'm live in Crawford County, covering news where you live. Kayla Davis, 5 News.
Thank you, Kayla. President Trump is urging patience after new government data shows the U.S. economy contracted in the first quarter of 2025. The lower GDP number comes as businesses around the world are adjusting to the president's new tariff plans. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
A day after President Trump celebrated the first 100 days of his second term, new government data on the GDP shows the U.S. economy contracted in the first quarter for the first time in 3 years. The Trump administration is downplaying the report.
We had a fairly extraordinary surge of imports that was totally driven by the rest of the world trying to get their products in here before the tariffs took full hold.
In a social media post, the president urged patience and blamed the Biden administration for the numbers.
He didn't leave us with a very good hand. Right now, we see things improving. We see our policies being put into action, and we see very good things.
The economic data comes as the president has invited top business leaders, including CEOs from NVIDIA and Johnson & Johnson, to the White House later this afternoon to tout new investments in the U.S.
But many Americans say they're feeling the pinch now.
Your food went up, gas went up, our wages went down.
Utility bills have went up. Groceries have went sky high.
In an interview with ABC News, the president pushed back on concerns that his tariff strategy is hurting the economy and small businesses.
Everything's going to be just fine. It wouldn't have been if I didn't do this.
While the president has said China wants to make a trade deal, on Wednesday he said there is no update on negotiations. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, new information on a deadly shooting in Springdale. It happened on Wayland Avenue just before 3 p.m. Tuesday. Court documents show the suspect, 20-year-old Ashton Ballantyne, shot and killed 19-year-old Willie Tillman. Police say he also shot a woman, injuring her. Court documents also show Ashton knew the woman had previously been in a relationship with her. Police say Ballantyne ran from the house after the shooting, but eventually turned himself into the police. He's now facing capital murder and attempted capital murder charges. And in Fort Smith, city directors are beginning the steps of disciplining City Human Resources Director Rick Lawley. This comes after Rebecca Cowan was appointed to be Fort Smith's Director of Internal Audit, then fired after it was learned she was wanted out of LaFleur County on an outstanding warrant for stalking. After a nearly 3-hour closed-door discussion, the board voted to direct the acting city administrator to begin disciplinary action against Lawley and report back to the board in a few weeks. Well, voters in Fort Smith will soon decide whether to approve reallocating part of a 1-cent sales tax to help pay off a $360 million sewer repair bond. But some residents say the city's handling of the tax is breaking a previous agreement. Joey McCutcheon of Citizens Against Unfair Taxation says the city broke a 2022 agreement by combining sewer, police, and street taxes into a permanent fund. But Lavon Morton of the Citizens Committee for Clean Water and Infrastructure argues the 34-year bond requires a matching sales tax to ensure it's paid off.
Circumstances change over 10 years, and we certainly don't know what's going to happen in 34 years. We're going to have problems with more infrastructure, and that would be our streets.
Critics also worry street funding could suffer, but Morton says economic growth would boost revenue. The city also plans to shorten the police and street tax back to 5 years. Well, storms and heavy winds have left miles of damage over several parts of the state this severe weather season. Maya Ellison shows us how recovery efforts are going for a Christian day camp in central Arkansas that was hit by an EF2 tornado earlier this year.
This is a normal day at Family Farm Christian Day Camp.
We have a zip line back there. We got a slide mountain. We got a carousel.
Stan May and his wife Donna started all of this 40 years ago, giving kids the opportunity to just enjoy the beauty of nature.
I cry just about every week during camp because we have 300 kids. We have about 60 junior counselors. We have about 25 senior counselors.
And through the growing numbers, they've always made sure to prioritize two things: faith and fun.
We're so blessed just to get to be a part of what God's doing. We give him all the credit about everything.
It's those principles that have kept them running for decades. They now mean so much more after dealing with the unimaginable.
It was on a Saturday morning, and we had this creek down here was flooded. I mean, water, it looked like a river.
Days of strong winds and heavy storms, leaving behind uprooted trees and damage to the lodge and May family home.
My back porch was annihilated. Trees were down there. You couldn't even walk here. I've never seen so much wind damage.
All this was underwater. All this area from the creek over to where those people are standing down there into those woods was all underwater.
Camp Director Daniel Lankford says it's just hard to comprehend what's gone.
My first reaction was, how in the world are we going to be able to do anything?
But then a glimmer of hope.
People showed up on Mondays with loggers, came out and get the logs out. People showed up on Tuesday just to stack brush. Wednesday we had people with dump trailers, excavators, dozers to start piling swelling things up.
And by Friday, the place looked brand new.
Remember that this place isn't anything that the maze or anybody else has put together. It's all of what God's created, and we want to keep it beautiful.